Now at 5, justice and peace. Members of one Fort Wayne family say they can rest easy now, knowing their loved one's killer will no longer be allowed to remain among heroes at a national military cemetery. Good evening, I'm Heather Herron. Mark's on assignment tonight. It was something that was never supposed to happen. A veteran who killed a woman in Indianapolis, then took his own life, was buried with full military honors. Since that day, the victim's family has been advocating against it, and now the killer's remains will be dug up and buried elsewhere. News Channel 15's Megan Royst talked with the family today and has more from Studio 15.
We first spoke with the Kales in August. They were beyond frustrated with the fact that the VA wouldn't correct their mistake. But the Kales pressed on, and thanks to some help from legislators, family members say they can rest easier now. Alicia Kale's family says she was a beautiful, selfless, compassionate woman, a mother of 2 children. Her life came to a tragic end here last May at an Indianapolis apartment complex where she worked as a leasing agent. According to police, this man, Michael Anderson, went on a shooting spree before killing himself. Since then, his remains have been among heroes at Fort Custer National Cemetery in Michigan.
We want to make sure, if at all possible, that this really doesn't happen again to somebody else.
Now, thanks to the Alicia Dawn Kale Respect for National Cemeteries Act, it won't.
It was just an injustice that had to be rectified, and I think now the VA will be alert, much more alert to these kinds of things and prevent it from happening. We have cemented this in law.
The House passed this bill yesterday. The Senate passed it in November. Senator Dan Coates says the legislation will help create safeguards in the way the VA processes information.
It's gratifying to be able to, after a year's worth of effort, to be able to call them saying we have succeeded.
The Kale family thanks everyone for their support and said, quote, "Through this bittersweet but positive step, at least our beloved Alicia's death will not have been entirely in vain, but instead an instrument for justice and peace for our family as well as the families of future victims." In case you're curious, it is against the law for a veteran who has committed a capital crime to be buried in a national military cemetery. In Studio 15, Megan Royst, News Channel 15.